But anyways, let's move on now to 20 through 11, and we're going to have a little bit of controversy here, but let's jump into number 20, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, the newest Los Angeles Laker, joining the ranks at 20. At number 19, we have Rodney Hood, which is an absolute joke that he's this low for the Utah Jazz at 19. 18, we got the newest 76er in J.J. Redick. At 17, we got Gary Harris of the Denver Nuggets, or you could say Denver Pacers, really, with their jerseys. With 16, we got the newest Pacer, Victor Oladipo. For 15, we got Waiters County, Deion Waiters from Miami. At 14, we got Nicholas Batum from the Charlotte Hornets. At number 13, we got Ricky's boy, Buddy Hield.
Wooden Award winner.
From the Kings, the Wooden Award winner.
Put some respect on that.
Put some respect
number
on that.
Number 12,
name.
we got the newest Brooklyn net, D'Angelo Russell. And number 11, where the firestorm will happen.
How?
Chicago Bulls starting shooting guard, Dwyane Wade. And
is he not top 10?
Let me start off with saying that I had him ranked the lowest at 15 behind Buddy Hield, Nicholas Batum, Rodney Hood, and D'Angelo Russell. Ricky had him at the
10.
second highest at 10, and Dave had him at 9. The reason why I had him so low is because D-Wade is 36 years old, has 2 knees,
35
is
at the
not
moment.
playing.
I'm just going to be right there.
Gonna be
30 wrong. We're just
going to be
these
36 in January. There you go.
Yeah, he will not turn 36 till I turn 28, I think is what I'm turning.
Yep. Old man.
I think.
Yikes. D-Wade, 35 years old, playing on no knees. He had played 29 minutes and played over 60 games last year, which is a miracle for D-Wade. But also, no Jimmy Butler, no Rajon Rondo. He really just stayed with this team for the money that he's making, which is ridiculous at $24 million. And I'm not taking this contract into really negotiations. I just want to say that's ridiculous for a 35-year-old with no damn knees, no speed and agility like he used to have. He still has the ability to create his own shot, but he also can't shoot from deep. Had one of his best years from 3 last year, but then again, that was with Jimmy Butler, who was a top 15 player. Dave would argue that he might be a top 10 player. No Rajon Rondo moving the ball. And now he's going to play with Chris Dunn, who I look at Chris Dunn, and I'm not too high on Chris Dunn, as all of us are, where he was 29th in our point guard rankings. Zach LaVine probably won't be with the Bulls to start the season.
No.
You also look at what else is around him. You have your boy, Lauri Markkanen, who I don't think D-Wade's really going to be helped by Lauri Markkanen.
Calling him my boy's a little strong.
I did it because you hated the pick.
A little strong.
Lauri Markkanen, I don't think he's going to help him that much. You also look at really Robin Lopez, who is his second option.
Yeah.
I don't see how D-Wade is going to thrive at all with the Chicago Bulls, and I think he's really only there for the paycheck. And I look at this, I don't really see this where D-Wade's sticking around for the money as a successful environment where he's going to thrive. And also, you look at him, yes, he had the 7th highest per, which I think you're going to bring up.
Yep, yeah.
We had the seventh highest per from in shooting guards last year. But you look at this, and again, he's losing some of his best players. He's not going to shoot 35% from 3, or 31% from 3.
Yep.
He doesn't have the agility. He doesn't have the ability to rebound at all. He really never has. He doesn't have the ability to be really an assist maker or a playmaker for this team, and I don't think Chris Dunn has that at all. What am I missing that he's got a top 10 shooting guard?
Maybe the fact that
you guys are homers?
No. Okay, you say he has no agility, yet he still has one of the better first steps in the NBA. He still finds a way to the bucket anytime he wants to. I think that's just straight up wrong. And I think the fact that you're saying he doesn't get assists or rebounds, like, he still gets enough. And that's the thing, is like, shooting guard.
But how much was that because Jimmy Butler was there, and Jimmy Butler is a top 15 player,
Jimmy
and Jimmy
Butler's
Butler's able to put into
points,
it.
his rebounds, his assists. Jimmy Butler isn't the excellent facilitator.
No, I'm saying, but how many assists do you think came off of some part of Jimmy Butler at least creating something?
Jimmy played a lot of ISO, to be fair, so
I think Rondo gave more assists than Jimmy did.
I'm not saying that. Obviously, Jimmy Rondo, gave
if
more
we're talking
assists.
Assists, we're not comparing D-Wade to Jimmy.
How did D-Wade get his assists was his point. And he's saying Jimmy, and I'm saying no, I think it was more of him playing off
Also, Mirotic isn't on this team anymore.
You also got to think, like, there was...
Some of those came from Mirotic. Even though he wasn't good, some of those came from Mirotic.
There was also time during that season we would see D-Wade out there without Jimmy on the floor, and guys like Bobby Portis were hitting him from 3, and those we added Lauri Markkanen. I know Dave doesn't like him.
I'm not a huge fan of the pick yet.
The thing is, we brought him in to be what I kind of see what Nico was. It's a 4 that, yes, he can play inside, but really we're bringing him in because he can shoot the 3 and he can shoot from outside. We're going to have guys that can shoot.
I still look at this, and you still look at D-Wade. Again, 35 years old, played 60 games last year, which is a miracle for him because of his injury history. But then again, you look at throughout his whole season, his rookie season, 61 games, 51 games in 2006 and 2007, then 54 games in 2013,
Which is
2014,
weird, 'cause
and then
that's
2011 and 2012 played 49. Other than that, it's one of his lowest years that he played 60
The
games.
fact they had like 11 straight All-Star games, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic. D-Wade is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
D-Wade is. I'm not trying to take away from what D-Wade used to be. I'm trying to make it clear to you guys that he's 35 years old, coming off statistically one of his worst seasons outside of that 3-point percentage and free throw percentage. He's coming off one of his worst statistical years, losing his two best teammates.
But he was also not the man. That's the difference. That's when you say he's worst statistical season, that's because he was for once not the guy. Like, okay, you look at the LeBron years, look where the numbers went down. Then when LeBron leaves, look at his numbers bounce back.
When LeBron left, which was 2014, 2015, had 17 and a half field goal attempts per game. Then went down to in 2015, 2016 to 16. Last year he went from 16 to 15.9. Big fucking whoop.
But now that there's literally no one else on this team,
there is
literally
There's
no one
on this team.
I think he's gonna put up solid. I still think he's gonna put solid numbers.
So what's solid numbers?
I think he's definitely over 20 again. I think he's probably at like 22 points a game.
Is he doing it efficiently?
4 and 4. I mean,
is he chucking?
No,
is he going to put
not
up?
A chucker. D-Wade doesn't look. He chooses not to make threes. I mean, last year, like, okay, for the majority of his years, he averaged like 1.1 or less 3-point attempts a game. So he's not big on the three ball because he beat you with his agility. He beat you with his legs, and I understand that that's concerning for someone of his age. But again, if you just discount age and you watch him play, you're like, yeah, no, he's a phenomenal player.
All right, but then also he has not drawn a lot of contact recently. I mean, really, he stopped drawing contact once LeBron came in 2011, 2012, and since then he hasn't had more than 6.2 free throw attempts per game. Yeah. So you think that D-Wade, being 35 years old, driving more and getting more contact is going to help him physically?
He still's got a good jumper. What are you talking about?
Okay, but he's going to get more contact. If he's driving more, if he's getting to the lane, he's going to have more physical contact, which I don't think is going to hold up for a 35-year-old body.
He's still a phenomenal player. I don't...
Phenomenal, I think, is a little bit of a stretch.
Phenomenal is a little stretch,
Come on. 15.
He's very good.
15.
He's very good, and I think that I think we're arguing literally over like the 10th spot here.
Well, no. I mean, the
we're
thing that I look at when it comes into it is look at the other guys within this field. Obviously, we have him as a collective all rated above everyone from D'Angelo Russell, Buddy Hield, Batum, Waiters, Oladipo, Harris. The question for me is, and this is what I kind of put it into, there was two guys that I looked at and I could say, you know what, if you gave me the question, Ricky, who would you rather have as your shooting guard this year? I took him. Chris Middleton and Devin Booker were the two, and I took D-Wade over them.
You would take
That's what it was for me.
You would, and we'll get to Devin Booker later, but you would take Devin Booker over D-Wade. The 20-year-old, the current 20-year-old.
I would take D-Wade over Devin Booker.
Yeah, so you'd take, my apology, you would take D-Wade over Devin Booker. The 35-year-old with reconstructed knees who does not have any teammates around him against Devin Booker, who's 20 years old
this season,
and improving.
Not like 5 years down the line.
I know. I'm saying this season, Devin Booker, who is now in his third year, who's 20 years old, starting the season 20 years old, going to turn 21 in October, who's going to be growing as a shooter, went from 34 in his rookie year to 36 this year. He's probably going to improve three-point shooting-wise. He improved his field goal percentage by, I think, 2% last year, and he put up 20 points per game. Devin Booker is on a bad team, but still doing it efficiently.
I was going to say, we're in danger of Evan Fournier numbers.
Now they're adding Josh Jackson. He was more efficient than Evan Fournier. Now adding Josh Jackson, still having Eric Bledsoe, who hopefully will be healthy. They lose Brandon Knight for the whole season, which isn't that big of a deal. Really. You look at Marquise Chris, who's going to grow and develop. You look at your boy Dragon Bender, who's hopefully going to grow and improve when healthy. Yeah. And you look at this team. I know he's going to be the main guy on this team for the Phoenix Suns. He's, again, 20 years old, putting up 80 points in a game. I don't care how much they lost by. 80 points in a game is ridiculous. But for any standards, the last guy to do any number close to that was Kobe at 82.
But I mean, Kobe putting up 82 is very much different than Devin Booker playing like 1-on-4 just because, it didn't matter at that point.
Dude still put up 80 points.
And he had under 15. The man is a turnstile.
Bad team.
He's a turnstile. He doesn't even attempt to play defense.
If you put D-Wade on the Suns, you think he's going to have half the success as Devin Booker?
I don't even think D-Wade tries on the Suns. I don't even think he shows up to work.
So
he's getting paid.
So why is he going to try on the Bulls?
Because
he's already gotten paid.
It's
his
home city. He has an attachment to Chicago. He literally grew up miles from where we're seeing right now.
I know.
That's why he cares. There's
I know
a
where he's
between
from,
that.
Dave.
I'm trying to tell them.
He's in my
These
backyard.
are the people
where he's
who are
from.
listening to us. This is for all of our listeners.
Okay, but the point is, he doesn't have anything to play for. It's not like the Bulls are going to be title contenders. He doesn't have Jimmy Butler there. He doesn't have that exciting new fresh face next to him. He's already been established in Chicago. People already know
he's the mentor. Now he's the mentor. Now he's there to help Zach LaVine take his career to the next level. Now he's there to figure out if Chris Dunn has any talent left in him. Because
any talent left in him, that's a little
strong.
Harsh.
I don't even care.
The potential left in him. He still has talent.
Fair enough. I mean, we already figured out Campaign doesn't have any, but no, I mean, I think he really becomes the mentor of this team. We saw it a little bit in Miami after LeBron left, and they were able to shake out a decent roster out of that with him leaving.
He was playing Goran Dragic, Hassan Whiteside, and
I'm sorry, Hassan Whiteside was a D-leaguer. Goran Dragic was the point guard for the Suns.
He was coming up that last year.
I know, he had a coming out party.
Hassan Whiteside was way better than a D-leaguer at the point that D-Wade finally took over after LeBron left. Goran Dragic had a fantastic year before he went to Miami and Phoenix. It wasn't like Goran Dragic was some bum.
No, he's one of their 8 point guards.
He was upset.
Was a problem.
Yeah, and when Phoenix trades away a point guard, they succeed most of the time.
Sadly true.
You also look at Luol Deng, who had a resurgence there in Miami. You also look at Chris Bosh when he was healthy, which wasn't that too often, sadly. And then you also have Joe Johnson, who's great in that role as well, where he was playing power forward. Yeah. I mean, it's not like he was playing with bums, D-Wade. I mean, he was playing with former All-Stars in Luol Deng and Joe Johnson, and good players in Goran Dragic and Hassan Whiteside.
And the thing I wanted to get back to, because I wanted to look at this stat before I gave you the answer of why I would pick D-Wade over Booker. I'm looking at, I'll throw 5 numbers out at you. Yeah, Booker has more points per game last season than D-Wade, but D-Wade had more assists per game, had more rebounds per game, had a better per, and when we look at the defensive side, Devin Booker had a defensive win-loss or win share of .020. D-Wade was .034. Wow. You have nearly a .14 differential.
That's not a big difference.
For defensive win share, yeah, I'll take the guy who has the highest number. Although he didn't score as many points, he had,
it's a point differential, Ricky.
Like you said, he had Jimmy Butler and Rajon Rondo with him. So that's why I'm taking in the Devin Booker with 22 points compared to D-Wade.
Yeah, D-Wade didn't have to score 22.
Yeah, he didn't have to score over 20. Yeah.
Okay, but you also think that Devin Booker's going to stay at 22 points per game this year?
I mean, he's probably going to move up to like 24.
24 is ridiculous. For a 21-year-old who's going to be 20, he's 20 right now, he's going to be 21 in October.
Potentially
24 is ridiculous. I think he gets even to 25. I mean, Devin Booker is a fantastic scorer.
Yeah,
you can't put that around him. He's quicker than D-Wade. He's better than D-Wade, at least going to the basket. He's more
he's better going to the basket than D-Wade?
He's healthier than D-Wade.
D-Wade's crafty as fuck.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Crafty as fuck.
Right now.
I still think D-Wade is better.
Devin Booker's 20 years old. We got to get away from this.
I know. There's other guys in this bracket.
D-Wade
talking one
again,
season, give me D-Wade.
I think in a one and done, I'm taking D-Wade.
The YouTube comments will tell us, hey, maybe I'm being ridiculous. And if I am, whatever. But
You're drinking a lot of the Kool-Aid for a team that has 20-something wins.
I think he just hates the Bulls, too.
He does. He's a counter homer.
No, I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at a 35-year-old with reconstructed knees playing on a terrible team with no one around him and no motivation to really do well, and only stayed in this place because of the money and the contract that he got. I don't see a real reason that I can't put him at 15.
The connection to the city was also a little bit of it.
I think you also have to take it. I think you guys are also taking a little bit of the old D-Wade and thinking that old D-Wade's going to come back.
Played first ballot Hall of Famer.
I'm not taking that away from D-Wade. I'm not taking that away from him.
That's like saying like Dirk is like number 20.
Like I'm saying.
Like if I put Dirk at 24.
I put D-Wade at 15.
Yeah,
he's in the middle.
I'm telling you, I'm putting Dirk at 24.
The question.
Okay, have fun with that.
The question.
You're just doing that because you're an asshole.
The question comes
to. Because he's like 40 years old.
The question comes to who would you rather have, D-Wade, Middleton, Booker? That's where it comes down to.
I would rather have Chris Middleton, who is younger, playing on a better team, and is really fitting a role there. And yes, he had the injury last year, but he's playing alongside Giannis. He's playing alongside Malcolm Brogdon. He's playing alongside Dellavedova. He's playing around our boy Thon Maker. You also look at Devin Booker, younger, a growing scorer. And yes, you talked about the assist numbers and rebound numbers. Devin Booker didn't have a lot of people to pass to. And also, Devin Booker isn't a guy that's going to be crashing boards. Like we said, Devin Booker...
They literally added Josh Jackson. I mean, that's not...
Devin Booker at his peak is going to be like a Carmelo Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony was never a guy like LeBron who's going to fill up the stat sheets.
Yeah.
He was a guy that is going to be able to.
And took care of himself and didn't care about anybody else.
Yeah, and Devin Booker is going to be putting up 25, 26. And he's going to do it efficiently because he's a good scorer. And I would take that over D Wade. Anyways, let's get to the other parts.
There's other people in this bracket?
Yes, there is. The one that I was kind of iffy on are the two, most of the guys that moved, actually. I mean, D'Angelo Russell, but Buddy Hield moved last year in the middle of last season. Victor Oladipo now going to Indiana. J.J. Redick, and now Rodney Hood kind of stepping up, and then also Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Out of that whole group, which guy do you think is going to thrive in their new position? Because, again, D'Angelo moving, Buddy Hield kind of now getting settled in Sacramento, Victor coming into Indiana, J.J. settling into that fourth role, really, third role, second role, whatever you want to say, for J.J., and then Rodney Hood now becoming what Gordon Hayward used
potentially
to be.
the scoring
and then
machine.
KCP as well.
Yep. No, I mean, out of those options, I like D'Angelo Russell the best, but I think it's because I'm probably the highest on him, like potential. I think there's still a ton of potential. Taking him out of LA, put him into Brooklyn is amazing for him because he gets out of the ridiculous spotlight and over criticism of his play, and he gets to go to a team where you're probably, and we're assuming at this point, Jeremy Lin being the point guard, he coming in and stepping into that 2 guard because he does fit the skill set for a combo guard very well. And I think that he will thrive in that role. And it's a much younger team. It's probably about the same age, actually, now looking back at the Lakers. But still, it's a team with much lower expectations, lower overall spotlight on it. So he can kind of be himself and play. And I think that's one of the biggest differences is actually coaching, too.
And he's also cleaned out a bit. I mean, he had a lot of, kind of ghost in that closet in L.A. Now, at least getting a fresh start. Yeah, and he's getting a fresh start now. And then, you talk about Sean Marks and the job that he's done rebuilding the Nets. Yeah. And then you also look at the coach that they have. I completely forgot his name because this D-Wade conversation we had. Jaeger's in Sacramento.
That's Sacramento.
That's Sacramento. That's what I'm thinking.
Good shot. He used to be with the Spurs. That's all I know. But D'Angelo Russell at least now going to better
Kenny Atkinson.
And he used to be with the Spurs, I'm pretty sure. Atkinson, at least being able to bring a fresh mentality and probably a more focused mentality to D'Angelo Russell. I think that he probably has the best chance to jump. The other guy that I think you guys are sleeping on, though, is Rodney Hood, sitting down at 19. I talked about this with a different Jazz player last year.
Is it only because Gordon Hayward is now
not
there?
I think it's the fact that you didn't look at what Rodney Hood was doing last year. I mean, Rodney Hood, yes.
You telling me I don't watch, Sean? You telling me I don't watch?
How many Jazz games do you watch, Ricky?
Not a lot of Jazz games.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, obviously he's playing with the likes of Rudy Gobert and Gordon Hayward, but Rodney Hood, a kid out of Duke who had a lot of promise coming out, he was a first-round draft pick then. He was a guy that once he develops his three-point shot, which really hasn't come along too well, he's shooting around 37%. If it goes up,
it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. But I mean, he's a guy that has the stroke to be like a 40%.
I like the fact that we're acting like 37's not good anymore. Like I get the NBA.
Well, it's this NBA. Like when you got Steph Curry doing what he's doing, but that's the preconception.
But in general, Rodney Hood, he's proven that he's a better shooter in general because even last year his 2-point percentage went down as well. So it's just something where yes, he had less of a claim and played less games because he was injured. That might have had a little effect.
Steph Curry only shot 41%.
No, I'm saying doing what he's doing, shooting 41 and shooting the type of threes that he does.
I know. I'm just saying we got to quit acting like 37's a bad number.
I'm not saying it's a bad number. I'm saying Rodney Hood can improve that.
All right.
For Rodney Hood, Rodney Hood has the skill set to become a better shooter and also being in a bigger role and being healthy. I think that's why Rodney Hood can take a step up. It's kind of like the Quinn Snyder thing last year, where last year I had Quinn Snyder pretty high on our coaches one. And you're like, why is Quinn Snyder that high? And now I think Quinn Snyder's going to be
psychopath.
Pretty high.
Kill us if we don't.
Pretty high on that one.
See the gel?
If you saw the gel, Dave. But going from a guy who he's a guy that's going to be able to put up points. He's going to be a guy that also he's not going to get to the basket a lot, but at least he is going to be able to be an efficient shooter. And I don't think he's going to be a guy with the ball in his hands a lot, but still coming off and playing with Gobert, playing with Ricky Rubio, who's going to set him up for those inside shots and those outside shots. I just think that Rodney Hood is a guy that can move up and possibly jump guys that we currently have, higher than him, like a Dwyane Wade, a Gary Harris, a Victor Oladipo, because Rodney Hood really hasn't been, put in that spotlight yet.
Right.
And I know Gary Harris hasn't either, but I think you look at Rodney Hood's athletic ability and his shooting ability. I think that's a guy that we're kind of sleeping on. I think that's a guy that could move up into the top 15, especially when D-Wade gets hurt.
He's definitely gifted, but my concern is that he's not a two-way player. He's not even close to a two-way player. So
I mean, we have a lot of guys that aren't two-way players, though. But that's the thing with at least these guys, and some of the guys that creep up in the top 10 is this range where 21 through 30 were kind of the bottom feeders. Now these are guys that either specialize in one thing, like KCP being a defensive monster.
But he still is not a net negative on offense. And that's like why we faulted Roberson, because he is just a net negative offensively, unfortunately. But like KCP, like you said, amazing defense, solid enough offense that you don't feel bad having him on the court at any given time.
Victor Oladipo, a guy that fits into a lot of potential, a guy that has a lot of potential both defensively and offensively, hence why he went second overall.
Yep.
You look at Buddy Hield, obviously we know his scoring ability being the Wooden Award winner. You also look at D'Angelo Russell, obviously with that.
Buddy Hield's the guy I'm most excited for out of this range group.
Wow. Am I surprised, Sean?
Well, I am too, though.
It's not just because of Buddy Hield. It's because of I looked
most
at,
excited for does not mean he's going to be the best improved.
I know I
I
mentioned this to us when we were like before we hit the record button, but if you look at his stats from New Orleans to Sacramento, complete different player on the stat sheet, where it was 39% from the field, 48% with the Kings, 36.9 from three with New Orleans, 42 with the Kings, and then 8.6 to 15.1 in the points. And then I think with Buddy Hield, you also look at what did they do team-wise. They bring in George Hill, a guy we talked about 2 weeks ago in the point guard rankings. Although he got arrested recently, they brought in Zach Randolph to add that down low. They also have Vince Carter on this team. I'm looking for Malachi Richardson. He was one that I was kind of
injured.
I know. Yeah. I was high on him last year, but he only played 22 games.
Having Vince Carter there is a great mentor.
Well,
yes. And you get guys like
De'Aaron Fox too.
De'Aaron Fox. You got Bodon. You've got
90% of their team is on a rookie contract or over the age of like
Harry
30.
Giles. I can't wait to see what he develops into.
We've talked out of the ass about the Kings recently, and it's
That's
been
why
fantastic.
I'm like, I want to see what Buddy Hield can do as the leader of this Kings team.
Well, and another thing, too, is he went to a more relaxed environment, and plus he's got a great coach in Dave Yeager.
That's why I said Yeager earlier, because I was thinking about Buddy Hield.
You always got Buddy Hield in your mind. Also,
Wooden Award winner.
Just for our loyal fans who know how obsessed you are with Buddy Hield, Ricky had him at 9. And
one above D Wade. One above D Wade.
You had him one above D Wade, which is I can't believe that you take Buddy Hield over Devin Booker. Whatever. Buddy Hield, though, being in more of a relaxed environment, not being, playing alongside Anthony Davis, kind of getting pressure taken off of him. And then also they had more of a focus on his skill set. I mean, he wasn't just a guy that was shooting threes in New Orleans. He was a guy that was coming off screens. He was a guy that's going to have the ball in his hands and at least try to set up something or at least go around a pick and then pop off. I mean, Buddy Hield's a guy that's either best coming off screens and having the ball in his hands to set up his shots rather than being a catch and shoot guy.
Yeah.
And something where they tailored his game more for Sacramento. I think that's something that Buddy Hield at least is going to be more interesting to watch. And maybe he's a guy that could jump into the top 10, but I feel like a guy like D'Angelo Russell has a better shot in doing that.
Yeah, I still think D'Angelo's got that like superstar potential. The one guy that I love just pure off of his swagger, his everything is Dwyane Wade. Like the man has like J.R. Smith has like amazing threes where it's like, game doesn't matter, I'm just gonna jack up threes. Like Steph Curry has fuck you threes. Dwyane Wade has like, I've got the biggest balls in this city and I'm gonna show all of you. Like he is just hilarious to watch because when he feels it, he knows he's got it. And like, did you see the recent interview he did?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he was talking about, the rumors of Kyrie coming to town. He's like, well, just so he knows, I'm the alpha here. Like he outright said that. I was like, really?
It's funny because we're actually going to get into alphas now. I mean, we talked about 20 through 11, so let us know in the comments down below. Is D Wade higher? Should he be higher or lower than 11, really? Should it be in the top 10, or is he right in that 20 to 11 range?
Yeah.
Also, let us know about the other guys because, I mean, Rodney Hood, I think, is going to take a nice jump. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, I mean, now being in a different situation.
It's a proven contract.
One guy I think you guys were sleeping on because I think I had him the highest was J.J. Redick. I had him at 16, and you guys had him a lot lower.
Well, a lot. I had him at 20. You had him at 19, Dave. The one thing is that JJ is in a very set role. Yeah. And he's going to be the three-point shooter of the 76ers, which, again, is last year we really overvalued, but that was because he was on the Clippers, and we thought the Clippers were going to be really good that year, where the 76ers might be, at best, a fifth seed.
Surprised our trust in the process hype machine over here doesn't have him higher.
Well, the thing is that JJ is he's a specialist at threes.
It's a static role.
Yeah, and he's going to be, he's going to do well in that position, but, he's not a great defensive guy, and he's not, really that much of a scorer outside of the three-point line. So,
he's overshadowed by the amazingness of Ben Simmons, Ja. I know y'all want to see Ja.
I love J.J. Redick, too. And also, Gary Harris. We didn't give JJ.
No, it's Ja. Nobody cares about him.
We didn't give Gary Harris enough love, too, because Gary Harris was amazing from three, was a very efficient scorer, and now with Nikola Jokic, he took Gary Harris took a step up when Jokic started handling the ball more. Now with Jokic having the ball more and Paul Millsap, It's going to be
That
fun to watch
offense
Gary
could be
Harris.
scary.
Anyways, tell us your thoughts on 20 through 11